Just checking my health because I didn't have time to go to the supermarket. I don't know if you're aware of this, but our fresh food people have actually, decided, and one of the things they're going to be doing soon is doing health checks at the supermarket. I mean, thank you, Woolies, for doing health checks. I mean, I'd hate to be left to do it myself. I mean, I'm really appreciative anyway, that the fresh food people, actually, that they, introduce, healthy eating programs and, get Jamie Oliver involved so that we actually know what we should be eating, because God knows none of us have a clue. And, the whole 5-star health ratings on the vegetables. I mean, if I didn't see a 5-star on my carrot, I wouldn't have a clue. I'm glad they're adopting the system. And now, because they are really concerned about our health, because let's face it, if you're a multinational company, you don't want your consumers dying of heart attacks, do you? You want them to stay well, because then they will do more. So what's happening now is, I think, the health checks are big. I guess it's because, when you are also being a multinational company, it actually works on perpetual growth. And if Australia's not going to be letting lots of refugees in and upping our population to make more consumers, then I suppose they've got to extend their services. And I'm not just talking about Woolies. This is actually something happening between the two major players, Woolies and Coles. Woolies just holds the greater market share at the moment. But the health checks is an interesting thing. And I do think, and they're looking at the moment at doing, blood pressure checks, clearly, and, probably some just basic heart checks. They're having like pharmacists and maybe some trainee nurses in there to check, which is kind of, it's just kind of good. I can just see the process, because the whole idea in that kind of environment, it's all about extending services. That you start off with petrol, you're moving on, you're moving through and pushing through. So pretty soon it's going to be more than just a little bit of a check. You'll be able to go in there and maybe take a urine sample in and see how you've got an STI, or if you're pregnant or something, and why not drop your urine sample off, go do your shopping, and by the time you come back you'll know the results. I mean, that'd be fantastic. I mean, I just think it'd be awesome to be able to do a bit of shopping and go, aisle 5 pap smears today, and just wacko, pap smear is done. I mean, that is going to be one hell of a service. I really do think. I mean, you'd be careful if you drop your wallet, blokes, because I tell you what, you might get a prostate examination that you weren't expecting. And this is all, because of the kindness of actually providing the kind of healthcare that we need. I mean, who wants to go to a doctor's surgery, and sit there, boring as it is, and wait to see an actual health professional when you can, get, yourself seen while you're shopping? I mean, it really does mean you're maximising your time. And I think that's actually quite good, because we are time poor, and often we won't get to do the health checks. And possibly, I'm actually thinking of, it's actually kind of ironically perfect that you get to find out, for instance, that you've got cancer, probably in the place where you bought the food that gave you cancer. Like, it's like, ooh, that's like a full circle. It's like, it's poetry when that happens. I just imagine lining up the deli, and you get your number, and that's where you get like your mammogram or something, and they just use the meat slicer or something in there, and you get your little thing to actually go. And it's the whole self-service. They'll have to move it to self-service, the health checks, because it's all about growing, extending new ideas. And I just imagine it's actually quite good, some self-service health checks as you go through. Like, just say they could actually have specials. Like, today is, amputations from the neck down. If you spend over $200 in our store, you get a half-price amputation. And then you can pull up to an amputation station, and you've got to put your leg up on the thing. And you won't have people helping, you'll have someone watching you. And you just have to make sure when you do cut your leg off, it goes into the bagging area. Otherwise, there's got to be a bit of trouble, a bit of beeping will go off. But I just think it's an absolutely stupendous thing to be able to do that kind of stuff in the supermarket, because it's like kind of, it feels like, it's a whole life story. I mean, Coles now, for a while now, you've been able to get a Coles credit card. They're actually going into finance. Now you'll be able to get a mortgage through Coles, which is kind of, funny. If you worked at Coles and you got your mortgage through Coles, in a sense, it would be like a form of enslavement, because you wouldn't even need to be paid. You would just be owned. Your ass would be owned by Coles, and you would be at Coles, working at Coles, eating food from Coles to pay for a house owned by Coles. So in the end, you would belong to Coles. You would be Coles. You would become part of the Coles people. And I think we have to sort of identify what's going to happen. We're going to start identifying through brands, I think, because they're going to start providing, pretty soon, everything we have is going to be either Woolies or Coles. I think government is going to go a whole sense of, you know, political parties. It no longer matter. I mean, we all know political parties are funded and run by corporations, you know, anyway. So it's only a matter of time before our two-party system in Australia actually becomes more about supermarkets, the one-stop shop, the big monolith megalith. And when you go to actually vote, you know, because we'll still have a democracy, of course, and you do get to choose, and it's all about choosing. You'll be able to tick your box, and you can either vote for Woolies or Coles, and they will run the country, which I just think is just such an awesome idea. I mean, I just think we're so lucky just to have so much choice. Where's my thing gone? Oh no. I'm going to have to go to Woolies. I don't think I'm well.